need to run this back. Quiet, extend it. I could spit for hours about this shit. Sick of this fucking country. Bunch of fucking...
You're going to have a very, very bad day at work.
Yeah, hope those cunts do. Stealth, shh. Fuck Borris, fucking pants-sniffing cunt and all his little cronies. Doctors and nurses. Doctors, big up the doctors, nurses. NHS, I hope you heard this. Doctors, nurses, Borris at blurting, bursting the service. Overwork workers, vaccine, vermin, billions heardin. Bled, epidermis, Antivax, shirkers. They're birthing the curses. Insulate Learners. Greta take the girther. Greta take the girther on the reverber. Me and my versin and merkin. Bring the hearse in. Bring that hearse in. I'll protect the heardin. Opposite heardin. Bone peep, keep your fucking cursin. I'ma burn your absurdness. You sit in the road and burst it, I'll fucking burst it. You sit in the road, I'll burst it. You're hurting the service and the fucking nurses, you plebs and the herpricks. Not the fucking shirkers, them parliament pervers. Shh, not fucking shirkers, parliament pervers. Bozjob Coam, that fucking curtain. You little loiters twerking, backbench fucking bursting. Bumbling burry, all you fucking lurking, spitting that irking. Stop fucking smirking, you're not fucking working, tapping that fucking jerking. And a t-shirt, you're fucking bursting. Intolerance on the merkin. You're sat fucking blurting. Bled us for fucking not vermin. You bled us vermin, the public. You bled us vermin, and then the NHS service. You're sucking fucking purses. Always that worthless broken a person. Major would have murked it. You need to fucking heard it. You government turnips on the adder spitting that cursing. They can't fucking learn it. Room full of fucking dirt dip. Gonna fucking gurning, snorting, swerving, gurning, snorting, swerving, blurring. In truth, they're fucking dispersing. Borris sat in the fucking burners. Borris ditch them burners. Secrets emerges, them parties pervers. There's cheese in the herbers. Them turds were fucking dirting. Them kermits, they better fucking learn it. Your rule book is fucking bursting. I'll sling it in the furnace. Reezy getting the sermon. Thoughts on the verbs gonna burn them. Not like the herbs they're fucking serving. The hermits with the permits. £150 person. No, that's for the fucking script, not a permit. No script, it's a permit. Now you fucking shirk shit. 5k a month of worthless worth shit. To mute the pain and the cursing. With the persons left fucking worthless. Then black market we burst it. And spray with fucking cursing. Contaminate cannabis. We buy out of fucking import shit. Or why you vax a vermin. Truth be heard in. Lockdown and lurching. It's dodgy for fucking certain. So suck my fucking gherkin on that thoughts fucking burning. So shit in your fucking hands and serve it. Cause my herd of clapping and cursing, that's public and I'm just fucking learning how to fucking take a guy's job and fucking put more work in. So fuck the lot of you. You're not gonna get loud, this is gonna be so fucking lit.
So what John Major at his time came out with this thing, the Nolan Principles, which is quite simple. They talk about things like accountability, openness, honesty, leadership. This is how damaging it is, isn't it? If those principles are not being followed, then we have a problem. In years gone by, people would have resigned.
Yes. Oh, it inflicts reputational carnage on everybody involved in politics and on the House of Commons in particular. I think the significant difference between the John Major era and now is this. Yes, there was all sorts of wrongdoing during the latter stages of John Major's premiership, but nobody ever thought that John Major was a person of anything but unimpeachable integrity and straight dealing. Now, the person who is in charge of the ship is regarded as a serial dissembler, as an habitual liar, as somebody who has made his career through ducking and dodging and diving and dissembling and deceiving people. That's the difference, and that is why it is so incredibly serious and enormously damaging. I'm sorry to say it, but I've known 12 prime ministers in my lifetime, and by a country mile, Boris Johnson is the worst. His natural instinct is not to be open, not to be transparent, not to be accountable, but narcissistically to think, what suits me? How can I extricate myself from this awkward situation? By what means can I arrogate blame somewhere else? This is way below the standard that the British public are entitled to expect. And when people say, well, isn't it important that we focus on the big issues rather than on wallpaper or the cost of a flat? I suppose the answer to that is this. If there isn't a basic level of trust in the most senior minister in the government, it's very difficult to operate a democratic polity at all. That's the problem. This guy stinks in the nostrils of decent people. The unlawful prorogation of Parliament, which I publicly denounced at the time, being the most egregious example. My successor also has implored the Prime Minister to respect the House, to tell the truth, to answer the question, and to acknowledge that he, the Speaker, is in charge in the chamber. The problem is this cuts across the Prime Minister's natural and instinctive sense that he is the person who should always have not merely his say, but his way. And what he's got to learn, however long it takes, is that he has to be accountable to the public. It's not about him having fun or doing what he wants or having an easy life. It's about him honouring his obligations as a public servant.